Honesty is important in high school precisely because honesty is important in all areas of life. If we find it possible to justify plagiarism or cheating or poor workmanship in things where less is at stake, how will we resist doing the same in areas where more is at stake? In areas where money might be at stake, or the possibility of advancement, or our esteem in the eyes of others. Personal honesty is not a quality we are born to naturally. It is a quality of character we need to nurture and requires practice in both meanings of that word, as in practice the piano and practice a profession. We can be persons of honesty only if we practice it every day. What does that involve for teachers and students in high school? As you will see, academic honesty requires the same things of students as it requires of teachers. It is the teacher's commitment to show up for all class sessions unless they are simply unable to do so. Come to class on time and stay the full time. Use class time to fulfill the objectives of the course. Do their best to answer students' questions. Honestly acknowledge when they don't have an answer or don't know something, and then go out and get an answer by the next class. Both encourage students and give students an equal opportunity to participate in class discussions. Contain students if their enthusiasm for participating in the discussions makes it difficult for others to participate. Respect the views students express and expect others to do the same. Make clear when they are expressing an opinion and refrain from imposing views on controversial issues. Do their best during class time to prepare students for exams. Be available during office hours or at arranged times to work with you individually to help you get ready for exams. Develop meaningful exam questions that will test not only the course content, but also your ability to express and defend intelligent judgments about that content. Carefully monitor the exam so honest students will not be disadvantaged by others who might choose to cheat if given the opportunity. Consider your answers when evaluating them and assigning a grade. Devise meaningful assignments that grow out of and further the work done in the classroom. Provide students with a clear description of each assignment so students know what is expected of them and what they'll be looking for when it is graded. Give due and careful consideration to students' papers when evaluating it and assigning a grade. Confront a student if they suspect they have plagiarized or in other ways not handed in work that is entirely their own. Carefully weigh all of a student's grades during the course, as well as the other factors that affect the final grade as spelled out in the syllabus before assigning a final grade. And it is your responsibility as a student to read the text before coming to class. Clarify anything you're unsure of, including looking up words you don't understand. Formulate questions you might have so you can ask them in class or during tutorial. Show up for all class sessions unless you're simply unable to do so. Come to class on time and stay the full time. Make good use of class time by being engaged in what's going on. Ask questions about anything you don't understand, not just for your own sake, but because other students might not realize that they also don't understand. Participate in the class discussions and contribute your thinking to the shared effort to develop understanding and insight. Remember that even something that's clearly wrong can contribute to the discussion by stimulating an idea in another student. Monitor your own participation to allow for and encourage the participation of others. Respect other students and their ideas. Refrain from holding conversations that distract others from the class discussion. Come to class having done your best to prepare for the exam, including seeking the teacher's help if you need it. Make full use of the time available to write the best answers you can. Accept your limitations and don't try to get around them by using cheat sheets, copying, or seeking help from another student. Avoid giving help to other students during the exam. Start your research and writing early enough to give yourself time to do your best work. Hand in a paper that you yourself have written specifically for this course and not borrowed from someone else or recycled from an earlier course. Be satisfied with nothing less than your best work. Seek only appropriate help from others, such as proofreading or discussing your ideas with someone else to gain clarity in your thinking. Give full and proper credit to your sources. If you feel the teacher has made a mistake in computing a grade, You have a responsibility to come to the teacher as soon as possible, prepared to show where you think the mistake was made. By its very nature, education and the growth of knowledge is a shared undertaking. None of us has the time, let alone the background knowledge required to learn everything on our own. Virtually everything we know has come to us because others have taken the time to think about something, research it, and then share what they have learned with us in a class lecture or, more likely, an article or book. This is every bit as true for a teacher as it is for students. There would be very little to teach if all an instructor could talk about is what they've learned solely on their own. In a class, it would be too disruptive to stop and cite all sources. All of us know that the teacher is sharing with students the things they have learned from hundreds of different authors, bringing those ideas together into a clear whole. The same is true for students, who are expected to read about the research of others and bring together their ideas in such a way that makes sense to them and the teacher. Therefore, it's essential to cite sources in any research paper. The academic reasons for doing so are to give credit to those who have done the original research and to allow the instructor to look at the sources to find out if students have properly understood what the author was trying to say. But at a practical level, citing sources is a way to show you've done the assignment. Citations, along with the bibliography, show you have consulted a variety of resources as the assignment required. They also acknowledge your gratitude to those authors. So do not feel you need to hide the fact that you're drawing from your sources. That is what it's all about. You can expect your teachers to live up to their commitments to academic honesty, and you have every right to call them on it if they don't. At the same time, teachers have a right to expect that students will live up to their commitments as well. Which brings me to the most difficult question with regard to academic honesty. What if you become aware of a fellow classmate who is not living up to the principles of academic honesty, but you sense that the teacher is not aware of it? What should you do? You should say something to the student, and if worse comes to worse, you should tell the teacher. Academic honesty, as with so much in life, involves a system of interconnected rights and responsibilities that reflect our dependence upon one another. The success of our individual efforts depends on all of us conscientiously exercising our rights and living up to our responsibilities. And the failure of any of us, even just one of us, to do what is required will diminish, however slightly, the opportunity for the rest to achieve their goals. That's why it's essential for all members of the Walnut High School community to practice academic honesty. For practice today will lay a solid foundation for practice tomorrow, and the day after that, and the day after that.